Hey everyone, this is Jenny Garcia, and in this video, I'm going to do a Project Life spread using the Everyday Explorers Co. new items. I'm going to use the stickers from the mini book Makers Club kit, and I was going to use some of the new stamps that were released. And I'm just looking through some of my cards to fill out the very few spaces that I have this week. I just have 2 title cards, and then I'm gonna do a smaller card with a little bit of journaling. It's gonna be really simple. I'm just gonna add quick captions of what we did. And the cards on top, the one on the left is from Elle Studio, and the one on the right, I believe, is Kelly Perky. And I'm going to use, for that last square, I'm going to use a card from Freckle Fawn. And I have a kit right now that I'm working with, and I have a bunch of cards with square corners and rounded corners, and I don't mind mixing them, but sometimes I'm in the mood to use whatever I want. Sometimes I'm in the mood for a square corner or a rounded corner, so this time I opted for the square corners. And I'm going to use this stamp, which is awesome if you do Project Life, because it has the options to document weekly and monthly, and has other basic things like recap, story, highlights, and this little arrow. And I'm using my StazOn ink, which is my favorite black ink. These little numbers are, I made them with Lawn Fun dye, and it's a stitch dye. I don't really know the names of the fonts because I know every font has like a name, but I will link most of the items I use below, and if you have any questions or I miss anything, you can always ask me in the comments. I use the Mono Aqua liquid glue to glue the numbers. That way, if something spills out, then I won't leave any marks. And for the papers, I'm going to use a Tombow Mono Air Adhesive Touch. Mono Air Touch Adhesive. I always mix those up. And for the date, I'm going to use ink from Studio Calico. I'm trying to use a bunch of the colors that are in the pie chart for this title card, which I guess could have been also a good journaling card. Now that I realize that, but I do love the design and how it turns out. I love when you can use a card for many different things instead of like when they are very specific. This stamp set, you can also use it if you do bullet journaling or do planning or memory planning. It's really great for that too. Some of the ladies have share inspiration for that. And I'm very tempted, something that looks very cool, but I don't need more projects and I don't need a format change. Sometimes I'm tempted, but this regular 12 by 12 or sometimes 9 by 12 works for me. I'm going to use some of the stickers that came with the mini book kit. And I'm just adding a little bit of, stamping, that it's a little bit faded, just to add more texture. I'm going to use my favorite little puffy stickers that you can get at Target. I'm going to have 2 different title cards because I have 2 weeks on this spread, and that is something that happened a lot in 2020, and sometimes I even had way too many few photos and decided to do monthly, and that works great for me. The more I do Project Life, the more comfortable I am with changing, I wouldn't say rules, but the way I do certain things. And one of those things was that when I first started, I tried to do monthly and it was impossible for me. So then I did weekly, and then I started using less photos, because we were stuck here with the pandemic and all that. Not stuck, but not doing really much. So I tried to be a little bit more flexible. And I love the colors of this month's kit. They have like those really bright mustard, purple, yellow. And you know that I have a bone to pick with the scrapbooking industry about purple, because it's one of those colors that gets neglected really often. And I figured that I would use those squares and fill them up with a few of the little words that came, and I love those stickers between the colors, the things, the sayings that are so friendly to use for everything. The font, they're so awesome. Probably if I have to pick like one thing out of the whole release, I would pick that. I mean, I would feel bad not picking the rest, but they're so good. And the truth is that I don't have much left of that sheet. And when I saw this black and white photo, I was like, I know that I have to use white ink, and it's stamped beautifully. I use the Tsukineko Brilliance ink, and it is the best one. I haven't tried an ink that is as good as this one. And I just use two little stamps for that photo. I found this die cut looking for something else, and I was about to work on that photo, so I decided to use it because I don't think I would have used it. Oh my god, otherwise. And I love that stamp that says teamwork, since she's taking a photo with her uniform. And I made another layout with this month's release, and I only work on one side, but on the other I have a photo of her last ceremony, and there was a photo with her and the whole team that where I used a stamp, and it looked really cool, but I can't film it because it has other children. And this is drawing that my daughter said, my daughter did. It says Layla is going to another dimension, I think so. And I don't know what kind of mood she was on, but it's very relatable. So I use the prompts stamp set to add a little stamping to the photos. And that's my favorite thing, to use prompt stamp sets with newer photos. I like to maybe put them on a label or something like that, but they were so good. And the theme for this month was This Is Us, and it had a lot of this is my people, this is our world. And it was so awesome to use with, instead of, I did do a few little spreads on the book, but it's also something that you can use for your project life. And that's a good thing about the kit too. It's not, even though it comes with a mini book, you don't have to stay with the book. You can do something else with the book and then use your stamp set and the stickers that come with it for something completely different. I was nervous about stamping this because I didn't know how it was going to look on the green, but it turned out perfect. And it's so awesome when you're like, oh, I think I'm going to ruin this, and then it comes out great. It's my favorite. And I'm using the Tombow Mono eraser before I stamp. That way I prep my stamps a little bit, and that way they can hold on to the ink a little bit more. And this is a photo of my girls opening the Pusheen box, which is an awesome box. And I'm sorry about the light. I don't know why my camera goes in and out like that and really sudden. It's in a mood. And again, I'm using the stamp set that comes in the kit with my Project Life spread. So another example of how you can use it outside of the little mini book. And I just put a little stamp on this one and a little sticker. Another black and white photo. Yeah, it's getting more difficult taking photos of my oldest because she's a teenager and she's busy being in a mood. So getting pictures of her is so hard. And even my little one sometimes is like, yeah, I don't want a photo. And I'm like, well, okay. I don't make them, but it's kind of a bummer sometimes. And I love that stamp set. It's kind of romantic-ish, but it's also very family. Works for family, it works for friends, it works for your life at home. And I circled the little. They were having a water balloon fight, and there was a water balloon about to smack my daughter on the face. So I figured that I would like make it pop because otherwise it's so small that you wouldn't notice. And I'm going to add a little extra cluster in the corner. I'm going to do my favorite, the washi with the stickers and the little puffy sticker. And I'm going to go a little bit overboard with the little word stickers, but I love it. Yeah, and lucky for my husband, all of us are awful at throwing. So we either don't hit him or like they bounce on him. It's sad. This is just a photo of my two daughters coming back from school. And I stamped the better together. And in that photo, I'm just gonna use that sticker, which is from a past mini book from the Makers Club sticker sheet, but I love it. It's so cute. And this is the photo with the items that came in the Pusheen box. Sometimes I take a little spread. I used to share them on Instagram, but I don't anymore. And I cut that out, and I don't think I ended up using it. Yeah. And actually, this was behind the card because I also have the 4x6 postcard that comes with the kit. And when I took out the postcard, I saw the photo and I realized that I kind of forgot about the photo. But what I'm going to do is add a flip pocket from Simple Stories to add the photo and the postcard. Now when I put those two things together, the arrow doesn't really go well with both, so I'm just gonna add the another sticker that says us, and I'm gonna add more stamping with the Brilliance ink. And I always use a little pad underneath my stamping, that way it's not, I don't know, it just works for me better. Yeah. And I like it because then you can see both sides of the postcard when you do that. And here I type all the journaling, and I'm just going to add a little puffy sticker and one more stamp. The one ink that I have, because I have one in the basic colors, but I don't have purple, and that's the only ink I should get. I want to get it. I don't need it, but it would be very helpful. And this is the whole layout. It's, even though it has a lot of photos, it turned out to be a little bit busy, but I really enjoy the process and I like how it came out. So I hope you like it too. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you share it with your friends. And if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe and click on the bell so you get the notifications of when I upload. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.